Hello ladies, blokes and non-binary folks, it's your old pal Ant here, Wild Will's Hat on Twitter. It's officially the end of 2023. I am recording this a few hours before all those fireworks go off, so it counts. I'm still doing this video in 2023. I'm not late, okay? It's fine. Anyway, as usual, like I did last year, I've got to do best figures of the year. I'm trying to restrict it to 10 this year. Going to quickly show a couple of figures. They're not honourable mentions. They're just collection updates. But that's what we're doing. We're doing the best figures of 2023, all unscripted, so I don't have to worry about how much I edit this. I should probably edit this more than I do. A little bit of an update first off, before we get into the top 10 figures. Remember how at TF Nation I got a taco tank? This was what I called my completion of one of my collection goals for the year, which was to get something genuinely rare / a holy grail. And I mean, a taco tank, it's relatively not super common. It's, I think this counts as a holy grail for me. It's pretty great. An actual somewhat rarity. Not as, super rare. It's not like friggin', prototype Unicron or anything, but it's a taco tank. It's great. Anyway, since then I got two more. God, it's dusty. Dusty. First up, I got Alternator's Hot Rodimus. Just Rodimus. Is it Hot Rodimus or Rodimus? I can't remember. This is one of those figures. He was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, I think, and then apparently turned up in Walmart stores and stuff like that. And I have this whole thing where I want to collect one of every hot rod mould, and I knew this one was going to be one of those ones that would be a pain to get hold of. But I did. I got him in box, never opened. It's a fantastic Alternator's figure. It's pretty cool. Not my favourite one, but it's there to complete the collection more than anything. And I went with this one because the only other use of this mould as Rodimus was a Kiss Players figure, and I didn't want a Kiss Players figure. Only downside with this one, it was broken in the box. One of the doors fallen off, and I've tried repairing it. I used some plastic glue. Didn't work. But you know what? He's nice to have in the collection. I've only fiddled with him a little bit. I don't want to, because when I transformed him the first time, this thing creaked like crazy. So I'm not too keen on transforming it too often in case I break it further and end up having to buy a Kiss Players one. That was that one. That's the second one that I consider a Holy Grail rarity in my collection. The other one I got, really freaking good. One sec. Oh, this lad, I got this for a shockingly low price of just 35 quid in box. It'd been opened, but the only thing that was missing from it was one missile. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to fire missiles from this thing. But I got myself a G1 Stepper. It's the reissue version that comes with Jazz's guns in gold and the shoulder cannon with which to mount Jazz's rocket launcher that the original Stepper toy didn't have. But this is the Takara one. It's not Ricochet. This is Stepper. And, this thing's lovely. Like I say, those two, they're really good. They don't go into my top 10 because they're not figures I'm going to fiddle with loads. They're not ones that I've sat and played around with a whole bunch. They just sort of got into my collection. These are the ones that make my collection feel legit. Makes me feel like 6-0 and stuff. But this thing's lovely. You put this next to the original Jazz and this is it's like Batman going to Vegas. Love it. Anyway, let's move on to the actual top 10. But that's my collecting goal thing for the past year, which was something rare or a Holy Grail. And, I got 3 of them. I almost got a Predaking. Some jerk brought it just before I got paid. Let's do the top 10. First up is the actual first figure I got in 2023. This is Jaxus. It's very white on the screen. This got brought for me by Brentosaur on Blue Sky. You know him, Brentosaur. He's been around for ages. His name crops up all over the place because he's a great lad. But he brought me this as a Christmas present because I didn't get any Transformers for Christmas last year, and this turned up just in the time for the New Year's and right at the start of the year. And you know what? It's really freaking good. This thing poses up incredibly well. He's got this proper tiger knee, Sagat situation going on there. Brilliant figure. Just not an ounce of kibble on him. He's just freaking great. Looks mad as bricks. He's got the freaking crazy face on it. That's all. I'm not going to zoom in or anything. But yeah, this thing's fantastic. I love this. It's I usually get a bit worried about white figures because you know what they're like. They discolour. There's a couple of crotch pieces. His hip skirts have gone a slightly sort of off-white colour. Slightly. But you know what? I've got a feeling we're going to have this trouble in the future, that a lot of figures from this generation, there's going to be next to no mint quality versions of them around. So that does worry me a bit. But as a figure, this thing's amazing. He's really good at doing like a proper madman pose if you get him going like that. But yeah, that's number 10 on my list. Jhiaxus. He came out in 2022, so this was a bit like, you know, I just got him in time. But there's a couple of figures on here that aren't from this year. This is just the figures I got this year that I enjoyed the most. So yeah, Jhiaxus, fantastic. Next up is this big old pile of like metal. Well, it's plastic. Masterpiece Blackout, movie Blackout. I kind of really like the movie Masterpiece figures. They're doing things with their transformation that are just mind bending. Like the way they pull off going from a really solid vehicle to like this mass of metal and stuff is incredible to me. He's got a bit of a bent gun. It's a little bent. I haven't been able to bend that back into shape. I might need to put it in some water or something. But yeah, as a figure, this thing's fantastic. Like, it poses really well considering its size. I'm not going to try moving anything right now because it clashes. There's a lot of clashing. You have to move things around to pose. You have to work for it. Yeah, it's incredible. And the transformation is like an absolute nightmare. It takes ages, but only because it's like that Masterpiece Starscream I've got behind me. Around there. There goes Scorponok. Yeah, it's a bit like that where you end up unfurling into a massive space, and you need to put aside time for it. You need to have a space to keep the helicopter if you're not going to transform him back, because the helicopter's like massive. But this is fantastic, and it keeps going on sale. So if you fancy yourself a bit of a challenging movie masterpiece figure, can't go too far wrong. Yeah, I'm kind of into the movie masterpieces, even if I don't usually like the robot designs themselves. The movie masterpiece figures. Sort your lips out. The movie masterpiece figures are properly enjoyable. The detail that goes into them is great, and also you get a tiny little Scorponok with it, which is nice. I just had to dig him out from behind my bedside cabinet because he fell down there the other day and I didn't realise. Anyway, number 9. Number 8 is going to be my first third-party figure on the list. This is Doctor Wu's Energy Dragon, who is a little tiny chibi Trypticon, and he's really neat. He does a lot more than you think. You think you're just going to get like, you know, a Trypticon that turns into, well, Trypticon and the base mode and I guess the spaceship thing he has. But he actually turns into like, there's like a Scorpion mode. I don't know if they're fan modes, but they have been listed on the Doctor Wu's like social media posts and stuff like that. But you can do like Scorpion modes and like alternate vehicle modes, and you can even turn him into one of those cubes. It'll fit in one of those 52 toys cubes. It does have this thing where you can push these in. I knocked one off. Hold on. Right, that's fiddly. It's a bit trickier to get them in than you think. But yeah, you can. It has little spring-loaded cannons that will pop out like that. That's quite neat. You don't see spring-loaded stuff on toys too often. Third party should do that more. They don't worry about safety so much. Why can't they have spring-loaded missiles more? He's lovely. He's a great toy to play around with. He's nice and simple. The instructions are absolute nonsense like they usually are with these things, but he's fantastic. The instructions are so bad. They're like entirely in the wrong directions. Like they start off in a different mode to what he comes packed in. They go backwards out of one mode to the other. It's, yeah, terrible instructions. But this is the second Doctor Wu thing I've had, and they're both great. Doctor Wu Energy Dragon. Whoop, he's good. And he's got little guns in there, and he's got like, this bit comes up, but it's a freaking nightmare to actually get to do it. It's like, hold on. It's got a little gun inside there. Isn't that neat? I don't know. Yeah. It's good stuff. They do this in a whole bunch of different colours. There's an Evangelion one. There's like a clear pink one. It's really good. And he's got this little guy who comes with him. Little tiny man. Can't remember what that guy's called, but he's there. Have fun with it. At number 7, 10, 9, 8. At number 7 is a figure that I like for similar reasons as Jhiaxus. This guy is just lovely, superposable, really nicely designed. There's like no kibble on the thing. He's just beautiful. I don't usually care about kibble that much, but when it's not there, it's pretty nice. Surprisingly well articulated considering he has all this bulkiness going on up here. Just a fantastic figure. They've redone this as Bludgeon recently, and it works really well for him as well. So if you wanted something a bit more sort of pumpkin spice latte with the orange and stuff, you see what I did there, like Halloween thing, give the Bludgeon a go. But this guy, he's fantastic. He's got the same sort of like ridiculous, nice knee bend articulation stuff going on. He's got open and closing hands, which like you don't get on Voyagers too often. Brilliantly designed. I would love to see some more of the IDW designs coming up, because I read a lot of the IDW comics over the last year or so, and I've been enjoying them a ton. And I like the Nick Roche looks and all this sort of stuff. They're all quite lanky, and I'd kind of love to see more of that. I want to see like an IDW style hot rod. Why is his hand the wrong way around? Well, his hand was the wrong way around. Didn't notice that. Anyway, there's Tarn. I didn't even say his name at the start, did I? Number 7, Tarn. Next up, number 6 on my list, was the first RID 2015 figure I got, although this is actually Transformers Adventure. This is the Takara version of Bisque. I got this from Brentosaur, who I mentioned earlier, and I probably stressed him out a whole lot asking about how the delivery was going and stuff, because I'd never really got anything from the United States like that, and it took a while to turn up. And that was Royal Mail, and that's postage stuff, taking ages. But he turned up in perfect condition, and I managed to nick a little bit of his antenna because I'm a klutz. It's still there, it's fine. You can barely tell. It's fine. But this thing's fantastic little figure. He's just mad. He's got mad nutter energy to him. I love how the claws work. I love how when it transforms into the car, like all this just seamlessly turns into the side of the car. Beautiful toy. A lot of the RID toys, you never hear people talk about the RID 2015 figures all that often. And I love the Decepticons, the animal thing going on with them. I also got myself Thunderhoof, which is another Legends one, and I'm thinking I need to get myself Steeljaw, at least Steeljaw. But now that I've got 2 of them in the Takara Adventures version, I feel like I need to get all of them in that version, so I guess that's Bisque. Number 6. I don't got a ton to say about him. He's great. Did I do a review of him? I can't remember if I did a review. He's great. Friggin' get yourself a Bisque. He's awesome. That's all I've got to say. He just got snappy claws and he's a lobster. Next up is another figure I did a review of. Assuming I actually did. Yeah, I did do a review of Bisque. I did hardly any videos this year. But here's another figure I did a review of. This is Modfans Ruler. It's their version of Roller. This thing's fantastic little figure. I think it's like one of the breakout hits of the year. One of the best examples of a third-party figure this year. It's fresh and unique. It's from a new company. The thing transforms lovely. It did have a little bit of that first draftiness to it. I mentioned it in the review where like there's little things like the legs getting caught on the hip skirts a little, but I'm sure they'll improve on that sort of thing in the future. I haven't seen the new one yet. They've got that Cerebro figure coming out that turns into a head for Fort Max, which I doubt I'll get, but if they did something like that for Black Zarek, that'd be tempting. This thing's fantastic. It's like 35 quid. You can get it on a Mega Lock. That's where I got this one from. But yeah, I've got so much dust on these figures. I'm dusting them off before I bring them out. There's so much dust. There's dust everywhere. It's the UK. Just dusty. Fantastic figure. Consider getting yourself one of these. Like, seriously. If you want something that's not quite masterpiece difficulty, a bit more Generations-y but feels premium, this lad. Fantastic. Grab it. That's number 5. Let's go on to number 4. 100% serious on this. Number 4 has to be Smash and Change Optimus Primal. This was like the only Rise of the Beast figure I brought for myself this year. He's great. He's just, he doesn't articulate and he's not like layered in loads of super detail. He's a little bit cartoony in his design and stuff. But he does this. See, he transformed. Fantastic. That wasn't the smoothest. Perfect. First take. Yeah, that transformation's a hell of a lot of fun. It's just good. This is a good toy. This is one you can get your nephews and nieces or your kids or 40-year-old men that like Transformers. But yeah, he's got his Optimus Primal head. He does tuck away for like no reason at all. You can tuck it away. I don't know if that's worse that it's sticking out like that or if you want it like that. I don't know. This thing's fantastic. The only other Rise of the Beast figure I got is an Optimus Prime that comes with a little chainsaw wolf guy called Chainclaw. I'd got that for Christmas. He's just a little Legends figure. That's basically what he is. But this thing is a mechanical marvel. Just, it's endlessly addictive to just keep like shifting this back and forth between modes and transform it in like seconds. Brilliant stuff. There's a Rhinox that's quite similar. I'm kind of tempted to get that as well. But this is the star. This is the stuff. Bit expensive, admittedly. Like 35 quid for this is a bit much. This should be like 15 quid, 20 quid max. But he's been getting knocked down to about 20 quid recently. Give Smash and Change Optimus Primal a go. He's freaking just fun. Have some fun for once in your life. God. Number 3. It's Menasor. The whole of Menasor. Granted, Motormaster up here is really, really frigging good. But Motormaster on his own probably wouldn't put into my top 10 figures of the year. So I just had to dust him a little bit more. But as a combined whole, this thing's fantastic. This is unique. I don't know why this was so controversial with collectors, because it did the whole frame thing that a few third-party figures have done. So I think it's great. It's something different. They could have just done another Combiner Wars thing, I know. But we had that a few years ago, and we've had Scramble City ones before, and we've had reissues of the original toy. They're out there. They exist. I think the only Combiner version of Menasor I'd want more is an animated Menasor. But I can actually combine. I know there's the third-party kits for it that can do it. But this thing's beautiful. The way the cars work, the way they split apart when you put them on there, it's brilliant stuff. Granted, these guys just sort of sit out at the back a little bit. They don't have much to do. And yeah, not all the figures are fantastic. I didn't like Wild Rider all that much. There's some steps in his transformation that felt like they were about to break, but then Breakdown was a little better than that. So that's okay. There is another version of this out now, which is all more toy colour design, and that's pretty good. But the standout was Motormaster. He was the best in the set. And then when you combine it all together, this thing's friggin' just beautiful. And it's so... The ratchets on this thing. Oh. Poses up a storm as well. It's so good. And it's got a base mode that I don't entirely hate. Motormaster. That's my number 3. The Menasor, rather. I pulled some of the guys slightly. They're coming off a little bit. Got to put them back on. I did have some of the problems that other people had with them, the wheels being a little bit bent out of shape on the back. There's a little bit of discoloration, but you can't see it when it's in this mode. There was a couple of bits of plastic in the joints that come up, but it's fine. Wasn't that much of a bother for me. And once you get him into this mode, you can't see him. So, yeah, he's proper good. I'd love to see him do another Combiner, but I've got a feeling they're just not going to do another Combiner in the Legacy range. I think that's done for now. It would be nice if they did a Predaking. Well, they did a Predaking a few years ago. They're doing a lot of Beast Wars Neo stuff, so maybe it'd be nice if they did a Magnaboss or a Tripredacus. It's only 3 figures at a time, You can sell that as a commander class or something. That's Menasor. He's really good. I need to dust this more. God, the amount of dusting that I'm having to do. Can he die from dust inhalation? If this video doesn't come out, then that's why I died. Motormaster, Menasor. I always think of calling the combined mode Motormaster. It's Menasor. Really good. It's worth collecting up. I know it's a bit tricky to collect them all up now. I'm wondering if they're going to do all the G2 designs, because they've done a G2 version of him and him, haven't they? So, it would be nice. I'd probably buy another Breakdown in that teal and purple look he had for the G2 toy that never really released, but Sixo's got one of them. Show off. But yeah, Menasor. Fantastic. On to the top 2. At number 2, it's friggin' Sandstorm. This lad, this Transformers, was it Universe? I forget. Not Classics. Is it Classics? I can't remember if it's Classics or Universe now. God, but Sandstorm. I got this one. He's in fantastic condition. I always wanted the Springer mould, but then Triple Takeover were doing an episode talking about these things, and they said about how they thought Sandstorm was a little bit better. And to be honest, when you get this guy and you put him all together in his vehicle mode, his helicopter mode, and you see that everything lines up a little bit better, the different changes in moulding look a little better than that Springer figure did, which I know I haven't got the Springer, but I've seen it, and I see now how this looks better in every mode. He is a great figure. I think this is probably the best example of nailing that IDW design. He's all legs and everything, like Tarn. Where's Tarn? These two comfortably exist in the same universe. Granted, Tarn should probably be a bit bigger, but that's Modern Voyagers for you, isn't it? But they both have the same sort of design flair going on. And yeah, he's a fantastic figure. I would love it if they would every now and again just reissue some figures from this era. They reissue G1 stuff all the time, and I think it'd be neat if just every now and again they did a little, even if it's a Gen Selects thing, just chucking out another load of these figures from this era. Because I've been collecting up some of the stuff that I missed out in my collecting days, and universally pretty great, apart from that Ironhide I got Classics Ironhide, he's not good. Sandstorm, every mode on this thing is fantastic. He poses great, he looks great, he's got this weird gun that I don't like. His wheels do a spinny, there's a secret wheelchair mode, fair enough. The only problem I have with this one is his head is super floppy, like it just droops all the time. Like it doesn't take much for it to just start flopping all over the place. That's fine. I bought it second hand, got it for about 30 quid, which I thought was a decent price for this. I was looking for one of these at TF Nation. I didn't quite manage it, but I got one like a couple of weeks later. Sandstorm. That's my only Sandstorm figure. I don't have any of the others. I would love a G1 one. That would be nice. But he's number 2. What's going to be at number 1? Right, my number 1 figure, I was a little bit worried, might be recency bias or something, but then when I was going over my photos just to double check what I got this year, I got this guy like in September, so it can't be recency bias. I've had him for a few months, but it is. Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. You can't see his face there because his like chest is so big. You can put his head all the way back like this and I can hold him like that, then you can see his face. This thing's phenomenal. This thing's great. I always wanted the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, even though a lot of people don't like him too much, because I like the idea of the figure where the truck and the Ultra Magnus all form into one thing. It's not a separate white Optimus Prime robot, because that's not something I worry about too much. To me, Ultra Magnus never had the little white inner robot in the cartoon, so the Ultra Magnus I imagine is the truck and the trailer combined into one thing. The truck isn't a separate entity from the trailer piece, it's all the one object. Although I do like the Minimus Ambus take in IDW. But this thing's fantastic. He's a wide lad, like granted there's a lot of like compressing stuff up here. You know, maybe some of this could have gone around the back and then come back around the front. That would have made it a little bit thinner, but I don't care about that too much, to be honest. It's minor quibbles. He does this, which is great. The only quibble I have with it is like these droop like crazy. I think a lot of people have had that trouble, but apparently a bit of pledge will sort that out. Like his transformation is just, most of it is what you expect it to be. Like the arms will fold back the way you expect. This bit will go back the way you expect. But there's loads of little steps that you usually only associate with Masterpiece figures. Like there's a little hinge piece in here that you end up sliding back and turning and popping into position to hold other bits in place. And the way the trailer cab all unfolds, like that's the inside of the trailer cab. They moulded the back detail to look like Ultra Magnus's back rather than just leaving truck detail there. That's nice. That's a good thing. And probably my favourite little thing is there is a springy gimmick when you open his chest. His chest opens up, which you don't get stuff like that on Transformer figures too often. I would have liked it if they like worked in an ab crunch in there. I think they could have, because this bit's on a hinge, this bit here. And I feel like if that was engineered a little bit differently, that could have been the hinge for an ab crunch. That's fine. It's fine. Don't need ab crunches on everything. The figure's fantastic. It's massive. It's bulky. It's not even kidding. It's about the same size as the original G1 toy. If you wanted like, you know, the G1 toy but done with modern engineering and stuff like that, you're getting quite some way with this. It feels like that. Although he doesn't have the inner robot, which the Kingdom figure does. The Kingdom figure still does the rounds every now and again. You can get him pretty easily. He's all right. This does sort of put all my quibbles about the Kingdom version of Ultra Magnus a little bit more into light than it used to. Like that figure, I like him actively less because of this. The Kingdom Ultra Magnus is a good Ultra Magnus figure, but the inner white robot's not great. The truck mode's not great. The transformation's kind of a pain in the arse getting all those bits together. This thing's great all round. Like, everything about this is fantastic. It's just chunky and massive. You can pull his limbs off and do the bit where the Junkions repair him. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. His transformation is involved. It is like, I would honestly say it's near Masterpiece level intricacy in some places. But it's not quite there. But he is, like, the Masterpiece figure has, like, a whole slab of truck hanging off the back here. Like, I think it's the roof of the truck. This is a lot neater. Like, he's got a big old butt flap, granted. And you can see he's got his butthole there, which is, it's a very forward-thinking, progressive of Hasbro to mould a butthole on him. As a figure, this thing's great. And granted, it's like 90 quid. It is expensive. You get your 90 quid's worth. I know some people have quibbled about that with Commander class figures with like Optimus, with Rodimus Prime, and I can understand not thinking you're getting 90 quid's worth out of him. That Rodimus Prime is great though. But this guy right here, this is 90 quid a figure. This is a great friggin' figure. I wonder if they're going to do a redeco of this. It'll be interesting. I could see them doing something that's more toy colour accurate. Although I think if you go toy colour accurate, you kind of should get the inner robot in there because you're going for the toy design there. I can see a Delta Magnus of this being made for sure because they are doing studio series based on concept designs, and originally Ultra Magnus was going to be black and red. There's animation and everything for the 1986 Transformers movie showing that. There's stuff in this that's fantastic. Like this swings up, right? And then these little tabs come in and lock the whole arm in place. That's like extra levels of engineering you don't tend to get on these sort of figures. And then there's panels inside there that become gap fillers, but you fold, there's little panels in here that fold out to fill the gaps in, and then when you swing it around, it like slides over this internal piece here, which you can't really see because I've only got one light right now because I broke a light. It swings around, just goes whoop, and disappears. Freaking amazing. It's got no gaps on him anyway. If you're the sort of person who complains about gaps, like that's as bad as it gets. Oh no. Really good figure, and he has proper ankle tilt. It's not like the blooming Kingdom one where his ankles are permanently stuck in an A stance. Great stuff. The blast effects are fun that he comes with. It's got some good blast effects. I would like some new blast effect designs, but it's fine they're not. But this thing, I've had him stood on my bedside table for like since I got him, since that day. I haven't moved him over to my Studio Series 86 part of my display. Yeah, there is a plan to this display. Doesn't look like it, but there is. But yeah, honestly, this is my figure of the year. Ultra Magnus, really, really good. Do a buy or not? I don't care. I'm not your mum. So that was my top 10 figures of the year that I got. They're not all figures, that came out this year. A couple came out last year. Some came out many years ago. I'm surprised I didn't get any G1 lads in there. I was really close to putting the G1 movie version of Hound with the new one because it's beautiful. That's another figure I did a review of this year because I never had a perfect one of them. The one I've had since I was a kid was always a bit broken. That's really good. So's the pink hot rod they did. I need more of those figures. I want to get more of them. It seems like they're just like not doing the movie line now, and they're just reissuing the original G1 toys with those cartoon accurate colours. I was also surprised I didn't put any of the Masterpiece train bots in there, but to be fair, like the ones that came out this year, the two ones that turn into the arms, they're both really good figures. They are both identical, but there's not really anything super surprising about them. Their transformations are on the right side of fiddly, though. They were really cleverly designed figures. I prefer them. Yuki Kaze just would have been a great figure if those legs held together in the slightest. You can't handle that guy. He crumbles apart. Kayan's coming in February. Then I'll have Raiden complete. I'll probably have him in the flight stand because I'm buying that box set that comes with the flight stands and everything. I've got that pre-ordered and everything. What else is coming up in the next few months? We've got Missing Link Optimus Prime, which I can't wait to get hold of. That's a dream come true to have a G1 Optimus Prime that's fully articulated. I've always wanted figures that look exactly like them at first glance, but then have that extra bonus of modern engineering in there. So I'm looking forward to that Missing Link Optimus Prime. Got him pre-ordered as well, and thanks Hasbro for not releasing Deathsaurus in the UK until February. We've got to wait another couple of months for Deathsaurus. That's fine. It freed up an extra spot on this list. I managed to get Giaxus in there at number 10. Because apparently everything I've heard is that Deathsaurus is amazing. So, fine. I don't have him yet. Whatever. I'm not bitter. I did get a bunch of other figures that I enjoyed this year. There was that Origins Jazz that came out. He was good fun. A couple of the TF Nation pickups I got were good fun figures, like the Rodimus Prime, the Power of the Primes one. Still building up my Rodimus line. I need to get that Micromaster one. That's going to be expensive, isn't it? I'm looking forward to 2024 with figures. I'm going to have some Legacy United figures arriving in the next few weeks. It's going to be probably going to be a lot of figures in the first few months of this year for me. I've got some money saved up for Legacy United figures. I'm just waiting for them to become available on Amazon because I'm not convinced they're actually going to ship on the time they say they will. But I kind of want the whole of that first wave. Pretty much. Even when I've watched reviews of some of the figures, it's not put me off buying any of them. I want them now, and I need that friggin' what's his name? What's the name of the bad guy? Magmatron? I need them all. I need all the figures that are in that set. The Windblade is apparently great. Everyone's raving about Windblade right now. And the animated Bumblebee looks fun. The animated Optimus Prime looks fun. I've started watching Transformers animated for the first time, and it's great. You guys were all right. It was a good show. But yeah, we'll see where it goes over the next year. I'm probably going to lay off the really expensive figures for a bit once this Masterpiece Raiden is done. I need to set collecting goals for the next year. I never got myself a new Masterpiece Optimus Prime this year, so me just saying I'm going to lay off the expensive figures means I'm probably going to buy an expensive Masterpiece Optimus Prime in 2024. Which, to be fair, they're releasing a new version, MP44. That'd probably be the easiest one to get, wouldn't it? Probably be a lot cheaper to get myself one of the third-party ones, but I don't like all of them. There's little elements of those ones that I don't like. But we'll see how it goes into 2024. Because we've got Legacy United coming up. We've got, those... I assume the Transformers Reactivate figures will all be coming out a lot more quickly. Because they look good so far, the ones they've done. I really want Starscream from that. 2024, bring it on. Also, before I go, I was in a video a few weeks ago. Well, I was in a video a few weeks ago. Dr. Lockdown asked me to do a little segment in his 8-year anniversary special episode. Was it 249? I don't know what review it was. I forgot already. But I was surprised how late in the video I was. But I'm in there reviewing Siege Springer, which was the figure that got me back into collecting Transformers properly. And, it was nice to be in there. Some nice comments I saw on there. And, cheers for letting me be in there, Dr. Lockdown. If you ever come back to TF Nation, I'll make sure to say hi this time. I didn't say hi to hardly anyone that I should have at TF Nation. That was a thing I did a few weeks ago. Check it out. Anyway, I will try to do more reviews this year. I did a really bad job of getting reviews done this year. I think I did Hound, I did Bisque, I did, Ruler. Is that it? Is that all I reviewed? Jesus. Let's double check. I did not review Hound. I thought I reviewed Hound. I reviewed Sideswipe, the G2 Colours Sideswipe, which was almost in this video, almost in the top 10. Only figures I reviewed this past year was Bisque, Sideswipe, and Ruler. Isn't that terrible? I should have reviewed more. I was going to review that G1 Hound toy. I never did. I never got round to doing it. I'll do that soon. He's fantastic, the new Hound. It was the first review I did on this channel, was my childhood one. So now I'm thinking, I wanted to do the new one, because he's nice. But anyway, thanks for watching. I've rambled on enough. I've been recording for almost 45 minutes. So hopefully I can shorten this down to a nice, neat, tidy, less rambly 20-something minutes. I'll catch you later. Bye! Like, comment, subscribe. You got to say that stuff. Ultra Magnus!